Hello. Week 3 is Standout Leader, Build Your Dream Team. And this is the video that is going to take you through steps 5 and 6 of the 7-step influencer process. And step 5 is initiate. Now, if you've been doing all the other things, and this doesn't have to take very long, it doesn't have to be a very long period of time that you're taking the other steps that we've already been through. But if you've been doing that, this step 5, which is initiate, is about having your light on and being focused on opportunities to add further value to your influencer. So this person will now know who you are. You will have spoken to them directly. They may or may not have replied. I'm sure they will have done if they're lovely people. And so you will have direct contact with them and you will be memorable. So now what we want to do is be able to find further opportunities for adding value, which might not initially be clear. So you might not initially know how they will need your help, but soon enough, an opportunity will present itself because influencers will usually ask for help on their emails, on social media channels, or you might spot an opportunity that they haven't. Things that they might need help with: guests on podcast interviews, Amazon book reviews, sharing a blog or article that they've been featured in, donating to a charity, recommending a service, if they're visiting your town or somewhere near you or somewhere you know, restaurant or hotel recommendations, if they're coming to do an event in your area, hotel and venue support, if someone they care about needs help and it's something you can help with, or if it's a skill they lack that you have. For example, something on their website. It could be anything, it could be absolutely anything. These are the sorts of things that influencers need help with, okay? So we just need to think about how, we can do this, right? And I want to give you some examples to help you, okay? So I'm just going to give you four of my own examples. So the first example I'm going to give is Kimra Luna. You may know her. She's a very successful entrepreneur. She's got a very large following. She's doing very well. So I had followed all these steps with her, and I got in touch with her when she announced that she had split up with her hubby. That was the first time I contacted her. And I just basically said, that happened to me. Well done for still showing up. You're a real inspiration to me. So that was quite a personal note. And she got back to me. She said, thank you so much for your kind words. And that was that. Then I found out that she was delivering a workshop in Brighton. So I got in touch with her again after sharing the love all over social media, and offered to give her venue and hotel recommendations. She did actually end up not doing that, but she was so grateful for me to offer to help her with venue and hotel recommendations. And now I'm on her radar as and when a further opportunity might come up for a mutually beneficial win-win relationship. It hasn't presented itself as yet, but I'm continuing to keep that relationship warm. That's just one example. Dory Clark, I followed all the steps. At step 5, which was the initiate stage, she sent an email to her list asking for help promoting her book. I emailed her back and asked to interview her for my virtual conference promoting the book, and she said yes. She probably wouldn't have said yes if I had not done the previous steps, because it was quite a big ask. It was a chunk of her time, but she did because she knew who I was, okay? The next person is Steve Smith. Now, he's the Olympic high jumper. He was also on my virtual conference. Very, very busy, very, very successful man. I worked with him years ago, but more recently I had emailed him to thank him for an article that he'd shared on LinkedIn. That was my first contact after years of not speaking to him, because it was a long time ago. And I connected with him on LinkedIn. I started really sharing stuff, and then I shared job adverts for him to my following, so he could see I was supporting. He was putting out job adverts, and I was sharing those to my following. He thanked me for that. And after that, I asked him if he wanted to be on my conference. So I was showing that I was adding value. I was doing stuff for him. And then I asked him if he'd like to be on the conference, and he said yes. And then Dan Meredith, there was another one. I followed all of these steps, and at step 5, he had a conference. I asked him if he would like me to be a speaker. I just put up my hand. I gave the title of my talk and explained how it would complement the rest of the speakers. He said yes. I also gave him some free advice about how to land a TEDx gig, and now I'm a content expert for his paid community of 500 people. So it works. It really, really works. If you follow this process, honestly, the results are fantastic. So spot that opportunity. And step 6 is follow up. Okay, so after you've initiated an opportunity, then you follow up. And if you haven't heard back from your influencer, that's okay. We aren't attaching anything to the outcome, but it is important to follow up. And it's particularly important if you're getting in touch with journalists, and this is your influencer that you're getting in touch with for blogging, articles, and opportunities. As a rule, if you don't hear back after steps 3 and 4, it's about finding another opportunity to help or increase value, particularly with a high-profile influencer. If you're at step 5 and your influencers ask for something, you can definitely follow this up. Okay, so steps 3 and 4, you may not hear back after that email, but find another opportunity to add value so that you're really getting on their radar. And if you're at the initiate stage, where somebody that's an influencer said, I need help with something, and you've got in touch but you haven't heard anything, you can definitely follow that up. Here we go. Hang on a second. Let me just bring up the authority formula for follow-up. Dear X, I hope you are well. I'm just following up after your insert the thing that they requested help on this date. I would love to support you and can help you by, and then you put in how you can help them. If you are all sorted with this, there is no need to reply. I just want to extend my support to you if you are still in need. Have a great day. Okay, so that's just a really good example of how you can follow up with an influencer to make sure that they know. And you do need to be a bit tenacious. I have had to follow up pretty much every time, and it has paid off. Okay, it's not about badgering people, it's just about making sure that they know that you can help them. So those are steps 5 and 6 of the influencer model. And the task for this is, have any opportunities presented themselves with your influencers, and what have they looked like?